everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. Today I just wanted to share a little bit about some meditation tools that I use and some tools that have made it simpler for me to meditate and to tap into my higher self and to find messages that are meaningful for me. I remember when I got started in meditation, I didn't know what it was or how to do it, and it all seemed so overwhelming for me, especially when it comes to card reading or interpreting life in general. So I just wanted to share a few meditation tools that I use, tools that help me find messages that are meaningful for me and that are helpful for my day's activities. So the first thing that came into my life about 15 years ago, it was actually a gift to me, and this person had this for years, never even took it out of the package, and he gifted it to me, and it has been such a blessing. It was my first experience with using tools to access, my higher self, to access messages. And it was actually, it's called The Rune Cards by Ralph H. Bloom. And it came with a set of cards. I don't know where the cards are right now, but I actually found these tiles that they're kind of tiny and hard to hold on to, but they're just a little rune tile. Actually, it's a stone, it's an amethyst stone, and it just has the rune on it. And I have actually 3 different sets here, aventurine and tiger eye and amethyst. And I'm kind of a touchy-feely person, and I just love the feel of digging through the stones and then choosing a rune. So, and then there's this book that tells, what the rune is about. And then I started finding other packs of cards that I resonated with, and I found their messages inspirational to me. So I actually have quite a few, and this is only about half of them. I actually don't do tarot cards specifically, just because I find them a little bit dark, and I never really learned how to read them well. And so I personally don't use tarot cards because they just simply do not resonate with me. So it's really important for you to find something that you resonate with. If you have a book that you find very inspirational, sometimes I will even use books that I have numerous books that I have found inspirational, that have really guided me throughout my life. Sometimes I will be guided to a certain book, and I'll just ask for guidance, and then I'll open the book, and it's just, to me, it's just so amazing how you can find inspirational messages in this big book. You just open it and there's a message specifically for you for that moment. I find it so fascinating and amazing how your higher self can communicate with you through these methods. So these are just a couple methods that I started with. There are so many tools, and life in general is kind of an interpretation, and you can use so many things to interpret your life. The universe is speaking to you every moment of every day, and you can use anything to access that higher knowledge, your higher self. Messages are coming to us all day, every moment of every day. And if we have our eyes open and our heart open, we can see these messages. I've had experiences, where I've been with a friend and I remember one time we were driving on the freeway, and right beside us, we were driving through a city, and right beside us was huge numbers on the building, 555. I mean, like, I don't know who could not have seen that. And so I just asked my friend if he had seen it, and he said no. There are two people that can be in the same place at the same time and have completely different experiences. And then I remember I was driving with a friend, and there were two deer along the road, and I expected him to slam on the brakes. I was putting on my passenger brakes, but he never slowed down. He didn't comment. And so after we passed them, there were two of them. I asked him if he'd seen the deer. He said no. And you know, I've had different experiences like that where I've kind of, because some people will kind of say, oh, well, you know, it's migration, you're going to see a lot of birds or whatever, and yet not necessarily. So I find it so interesting, you know, as I observe life, I observe the things that come into my life, I observe, you know, how all these messages are special to me, and they hold such profound meaning for me in that moment. And another experience I had was I was coming home after a very long day. I was exhausted, and my intuition kept telling me to go into Hobby Lobby, and I was like, I want nothing in Hobby Lobby, nothing at all, nothing. So, but my intuition just kept telling me to go. So I've learned to listen most of the time. And so I went into Hobby Lobby, and I was just like, okay, you know, just open myself up to the message. Like, where am I supposed to go here? And as I went down the aisles, all of a sudden I came to a standstill. And, you know, if I moved forward, my intuition would tell me, you know, to go back. If I moved back, my intuition would tell me to go forward. So there was this one spot at the end of the aisle that I needed to be. And so I was like, okay, what am I supposed to see right here in this spot? And all of a sudden, I was actually standing in front of those big cardboard numbers, and all of a sudden there was 3 numbers that just popped out at me. I don't remember what they were at the moment. When I got home, I looked up the meaning of those numbers, and it was such a profound message that I needed to hear in that exact moment. So, you know, all of life is speaking to us. If, you know, if our hearts and our minds are open, there's so many messages that can bless our lives. Thank you so much for being here with me. You are so fabulous and so loved. Have a glorious day.